Hey guys, Pressville Comic Book University and The Gifted, Episode 1. I almost said Issue 1. I'm such a comic book nerd. So, Episode 1 of Season 1. This is the first one. Okay, it's also late. It's 1 a.m. So, yeah, I basically watched this episode twice. By basically, I mean I did. Okay, now, enough of this. It's actually time to wake up. All right, so I watched this episode twice. The reason why is because it was really just that good. I remotely like to say things like that about Fox because I'm just one of those guys, I'm not happy with the property rights and whatnot. Like, you want to own the X-Men, it's not fine, own the X-Men, okay, whatever, who cares? They're doing a pretty decent job with the X-Men. This ups the ante a lot. It's the Fantastic Four I have a problem with. You need to just get rid of that, sell it back to Marvel. That being said, guys, I wound up doing Explained in Minutes for all of these characters that you will see and hear for the most part. Let's just go over some of these characters. First off, we have James Proudstar is in here, Thunderbird. I just explained him in a minute on Saturday, and I also did a spotlight on story for him so that you can get a good idea of who he is, what he's all about, what kind of character he is. Whoa, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Don't you people sleep? Raven and Fragonator. Oh my God. Hey, what's up? No, and it's funny. I'm just asking Fragonator if he sleeps. And what's up, Raven? Anyway, sorry guys. So basically, we have here is a story that has Thunderbird in it. He's a character who's actually only in 3 issues. There we go. Of the X-Men, and then he wound up dying. He sacrificed himself. So at the very end of this, I'm not going to get too into detail with that. I really thought he was going to buy it. The entire episode, I'm thinking, he's going to buy it, he's going to buy it, he's going to die. I know he's going to die. And when that last thing, that Sentinel got him at the end, I'm like, oh, I knew it. He's bought the farm. He's dead. He's gone. He got out? Is he going to die in a couple seconds? He's going to die soon, right? He wound up making it. Maybe he'll die in episode 3. Look, there are a lot of really cool little spoiler Easter eggs in here, which is pretty freaking cool. So I'm digging this. There was one part in here where one of the guys winds up getting a phone call on a cell phone, and his ringtone is that 1994. I think it was 94. The X-Men, maybe it was 92, whatever. The X-Men cartoon that came out. Remember that? That one. I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Now I want that as my ringtone. I've got Nerdorky as my ringtone. Anyway, check out Nerdorky on YouTube for Dungeons and Dragons stuff. Guys, so I'm really expecting that maybe in episode 3, Thunderbird's going to die. I love the character. I think he's great on here. But I think it would actually be a really cool little tribute if he died on that. I'm just saying. And then much later on, we can wind up getting Warpath, his younger brother, joining up, who is much more powerful. In the meantime, we've also got this dude on here. I can't remember his name, even though I watched this episode twice. Can't remember his name, but he's the guy who shoots fire. He's actually supposed to be Robert DaCosta. If you know the X-Men comic books, he is Sunspot. He's currently in the U.S. Avengers comic book, but he originally started off in like the Fallen Angels and New Mutants comics. So they're just doing a play on him. Another 2 characters who they're doing that with are the Strucker children, the siblings. There's a really cool little part in here in the very beginning. Their dad is like, yeah, my son is being bullied. Well, we've got this thing where it's like a tough love thing where we bring everybody together and have them have a talk. How about you take the bullies outside and beat the living snot out of them? How about that? That's my method. Not really. But the idea is that, he's trying to be cool and whatnot. But Dad, he was like, let me tell you something right now. You're going to do it or I'm going to sue you. And since he happens to be a prosecutor, he would sue. He would sue the ever-loving God out of the school. I forget exactly what he said, but whatevs. So that was like really scary tough. And I'm thinking to myself, oh yeah, they made him channel Baron von Strucker for just a moment. Now, unless Marvel proper made a deal with them, that is not Baron von Strucker in any way, shape, or form. Now, if he winds up getting hit in the eye and he winds up wearing a monocle and stuff like that, okay, maybe. If he winds up getting a very special gauntlet called the Satan Claw and he's able to kill people with a touch and absorb their lives and heal himself with it, yeah, sure, absolutely. He's Baron von Strucker. But until that day, no, he's just this dude. And the Strucker twins you will find them on Comic Book University. You can see what they are more like in the comic books by just looking up Fenris, explained in a minute. They are the children of Baron Wolfgang von Strucker here, kind of similar, and they have the special ability that when they touch each other, they can fly, and they can also shoot different kinds of beams. She can shoot a disintegration beam, he can shoot a concussive beam. There. But go ahead and check out for more good stuff about them. Fenris explained in a minute. These guys start off, and this story is basically revolving around them more or less. And they are just as kids. The older daughter, Lauren, she wound up developing her powers sooner. She's beautiful young girl. She actually reminds me a lot, even just in the commercials, the trailers, but especially actually watching this. She reminded me a whole lot of, I can't believe all you guys are on here. What's up, Mystic? Anyway, she's on here and she, what happens? Oh, she reminded me so much of the cheerleader from Heroes. Like, she looks almost exactly like her. What was that? Panettiere or something like that. Hayden Panettiere. Anyway, she reminds me a lot of her. I think that she's a great actress. She's doing a really good job in this. Very pleasing to look at. Yeah, she's the kind of character who you want to root for. Her brother, her younger brother, who just developed his powers in this particular episode, little Andy, he's the kind of character you want to hate. He's got that face that you just want to punch. He's got that haircut that you just want to, like, punch. He's got this look on his face where, you know, when he gets mad and he's just like the really ridiculous constipated look, and you just want to punch him. And he just, oh my God, so many times in this episode, he just starts yelling, ah, ah, ah. I swear to God, I could have taken him out and superimposed Jean-Claude Van Damme from Bloodsport. You guys know the GIF. You know the GIF. And just, you know, like that. That's what it sounded like. It's what it kind of reminded me of. That being said, he is freaking awesome in this role. Like, I love to hate this character, and he does such a great job of it. He does such a great job of making me hate everything about it, because, like, when he's just standing there, it's like, oh, he's you know, good-looking young kid, you know, it's cool. But when he's actually acting, he's a good actor. He's a really good actor. But the way he acts makes me want to hit him. That's what makes me think that he's going to wind up becoming a bad guy. Guys, in this TV show, we see that, or we hear that the X-Men and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, I think they're just calling the Mutant Brotherhood, have gone missing. So they both have existed at one point, but they're gone. So the idea that they do exist, interesting. I have a feeling that Andy, because as angry as he gets and the way that his power is developed, Lauren's developed saving her family. His developed while being in pain. So I think that's going to play a huge thing into it. He doesn't want to feel weak again, because every time that he does feel weak, his powers just flare up and he has a hard time bringing himself out of that mentality. It kind of reminds me a lot of Pyro in the X-Men 2, X2 movie. So wow, he's really good. He's really good at making you hate him too. I have a feeling he's going to wind up becoming a bad guy and joining the Mutant Brotherhood. Sorry if I'm spoiling something in the way far future, but that's just the way I'm viewing this right now. The characters, these are the two main characters, but another character who this is revolving around is Blink. Now, you'll remember Blink from the, what do you call it? The Days of Future Past. Was that it? Yeah, Days of Future Past movie. X-Men Days of Future Past, where they all go back in time. Blink was in there, and she's a very beloved character in the comic books, like huge. She came, had a bit of a issue, she was very timid and whatnot, and then she was killed. She was loved so much by the fans, they're like, no, bring her back. And they did. They had her actually come back. She never actually died. It was something else entirely. Kind of goes against the idea that Hercules saw her in hell one time, or, you know, Hades. Anyway, so yeah, she was like, people love her character. One of the lead characters for the Generation X, And so she was there in the movie, and now she's here, completely different actress, and she's really good. She's really good at coming off as timid and yet trying to be brave, not so sure of herself. Like, not only is she a good actress, but they've got her character written very well. I think that we may wind up seeing, obviously the people whose eyes we're going to see this through are the Strucker kids. Excuse me. And if things go the way that I'm expecting, we're going to see how they both diverge into the X-Men and the Brotherhood. I'm really hoping that they do decide to do something smart with this and try and combine the movies with the TV shows, because Marvel's not really doing it yet. Not really. And they've been promising to, and I don't think it would be too hard for these guys to do it. They don't have that many movies coming out at a time. I think they could really pull that off. That being said, Blink is really good on this. I think that we're going to kind of see things, as she's developing, I think we're going to kind of see things through her eyes also. It's going to be her development that we're watching. Here's something also that's cool, is Polaris is in this. Now, she's the daughter of Magneto. And I've got Polaris Explained in a minute. So if you want to see what she's like in the comic books, go check out Polaris Explained in a minute, Comic Book University. She's the daughter of Magneto. In the TV show, she will also be the daughter of Magneto. It's already been confirmed. So you got to look at all the behind-the-scenes stuff. Now, one of the particular... Hey, Dick Fillmore, what's going on, brother? She didn't get cool until Age of Apocalypse. No, that's after she came back to life. There was a huge fan base, but I totally get what you're saying. In fact, she was actually so cool, she actually had a 4-issue miniseries that was leading up to the Age of Apocalypse. So Dick Fillmore in the chat's not necessarily wrong. So, oh my God, don't any of you people sleep. My God. Anyway, so you've got all of these characters put together. Now, about Polaris. I think that she's actually the best actress on here. Some people may not like her very much, but I don't want to say feisty, because that kind of takes away from the character. She is extremely confident. She's snarky, and she knows what she can do, and she's not afraid to use her powers. She's freaking awesome in this. Okay, right now she's a prisoner. She got captured. The first 6 minutes were already released a week ago. So you could see the part where she gets captured. She's only got one other scene in this first episode. And it turns there's a reveal towards the end of this particular episode that, it's worth getting it. It's not that big of a deal. She's pregnant. So, yeah. And she's pregnant with the Robert DaCosta character. That's not like a huge reveal. I wouldn't just, start throwing out spoilers. I had to actually think about it. It's just one of those things where, like, that's the reason why, or that's one of the reasons why they've got to really kind of go and try and get her. Like, it's one thing, he was going to try and get her anyways. I can't remember the freaking guy's name, but the guy who's playing Sunspot, Robert DaCosta, different character in here, but same idea. Oh boy, I really hope that he gets to do that whole pitch black thing, because that always looks cool in the comics, always. So if he pulls that off here, that'll be awesome. And then, in which case, why don't they just make him Robert DaCosta? I think they're planning on killing him. Anyway, so that's the big MacGuffin here, is that she's pregnant, so he's acting all sorts of nuts to go after her. Now, the Sentinels are in this, but they're not the Sentinels from the comics. They're not even the Sentinels from Days of Future Past, because I didn't like those at all. They didn't look you could look at them and say, okay, these are obviously supposed to be the Sentinels. But they had the big turbines in the gut and stuff like that. I'm like, well, just take out the freaking turbines, man. Just don't use your powers. Just fastball special them, or just freaking shoot it. Like, it's a turbine. It's obviously a generator. Destroy it. Thing goes down. But I didn't like the Sentinels in Days of Future Past. They didn't look good at all. In here, they don't look anything like the standard Sentinel. And I get it, why they wouldn't want to use the standard Sentinels. This looks good. They pulled it off very well. On top of that, they actually look more realistic than the ones in the movie, Days of Future Past, which is pretty insane. It's pretty insane. They got this is high budget. You know what I'm saying? If it's not, then they got some really good people to work really cheap. The graphics in this, everything, to me, it looks really good. It's like, this is Is the whole thing movie quality? Possibly not. But this looks like movie quality graphics. Seriously, it's really that good. The acting may not be quite. Honestly, I don't notice any kind of a difference like that. I know this is a TV show. I prefer it to be a TV show because an actual story can be told as opposed to something that's going to be wrapped up or, God forbid, continued in the movie part 2. I don't want to see stuff continued. Okay, Mockingjay 1 and 2, that never should have happened. One Mockingjay, that's it. But the characters in here are very believable to me. They're very believable. I think they're doing a really good job with this. I'm really happy. I'm really happy with what I'm seeing in this. I didn't take a whole lot of notes on much of anything, no, and I totally got to everything. Well, that's what happens when you watch the thing twice. Let's see what we got here. Oh, you know what? I got a surprise for you if you wait until the end of this. And I don't want to be on here for too long. I've actually got one more indie comic to, well, not an indie comic, but I've got one more comic book to read. And guys, make sure you check out Comic Book University. If you're just stopping by to see the review, I put up reviews of comics every single day. I explain comic book characters. So like you'll see all these characters in here in this TV show or in the movies or whatever. You want to know what they're actually like in the comic books? Come on over to my channel and check it out. They're usually not very different at all. So better understanding. And it'll also give you key stories, spotlights on stories they're called. Key stories, so you have a better understanding of how the characters interact with others and in their actual comic books. So let's see what we got here. Something planning on watching. Gotta go. Fragginator's gonna leave because he's got to watch this show. Yes, you should definitely go and watch this. It's really good. Andy and Polaris, Machina, New Brotherhood. So I don't think that Polaris is going to join the New Brotherhood. You know what's actually interesting about Polaris is they indicated, Mystic is talking here, Polaris knows that she's got a father and he's out of her life, but we don't know yet if she knows exactly who Magneto is or if he's, you got to kind of know who Magneto is, but if that's her father. But at the same time, they're hinting, they're like, but she does notice that her powers are very similar to Magneto's. But they said that without a doubt, Magneto is her father in this TV series. So that's cool. That's cool. She is going to have some serious memory issues, which that's pretty, aside from her getting possessed every other issue, I think Polaris has been possessed more than the Scarlet Witch. I don't know. I think she may have. She's always possessed. So, what do we got? Polaris, okay, I'll stop. Mystic, she isn't the best actress. She reminds me of Magneto's ruthlessness. Oh, Magneto's ruthlessness. Gotcha, I gotcha. Yeah, she kind of does. I think that she's good. She's kind of... Here's the thing where I think that I understand the separation of ideas. I like Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. I think that she's awesome. I think that she's beautiful, but besides just, looking at her and gawking, I think that she's actually a really good actress. I think she's really good for this role. She's got the whole, drunk, she's got herself together a lot more than Jessica Jones does in the comics, but I think that she pulls it off really great. And the entire time I'm watching Polaris on here, I'm thinking she's reminding me of Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones. The only way this could have been better was if she actually had her hair green. Because in the comics, her hair is naturally green. She doesn't dye it that way. It's actually a part of her mutation. They actually expected that was going to be the only part of her mutation. Oh, her hair turns out green. Oh, well, that sucks. But then she started controlling magnetism and electromagnetism. It's like, oh, what's up with this? So, Dick Fillmore, did you ever read Wolverine and the X-Men animated series? Oh, sorry. Yes, I did see some of the episodes. I did not watch it regularly. I wasn't a fan. I didn't like how, I like the original cartoon. Then they went and switched over to the other animated series, and then it apparently connected to something else, but then it didn't with something. And it's just like, dude, I like continuity in my stuff. I do know that X-23 did start in that series. In fact, you guys can check out X-23, explained in a minute. I believe I explained it in there also. But yeah, so that's one of the examples of a comic book character starting someplace. She's a comic book character, but she started in the X-Men animated series. That's interesting. X-Men Days of Future Past, Rogue Cut. Yes, the Rogue Cut is way, way better. When Rogue actually comes in, Anna Paquin, and just blows it away. Like, I saw both versions, and no, there is no two versions. There's the road cut. That's the only cut. That literally, that does for the movie, in my opinion, almost as much as the director's cut does for Daredevil, the original Daredevil movie. Just, I don't care if you don't like it or not. I liked it, especially as the director's cut. It was pretty good. Then, have you seen The Reflection? I don't know what that is, Raven. Joe Fisher. Hello, Joe. Hey, Joe. Where you going with that gun in your hand? Little Jimi Hendrix. Does Polaris have Malice running along in her head? No, she does not. All of the different ways that she's been possessed, Malice was the most popular of them. No, Malice does not seem to be in her head right now. If she were, that'd be sick. That would be crazy. But yeah, that would be awesome. Sad for me, I missed the show. Was working. That's all right, Timo. Oh, hey, Timo. It's funny, Timo. I actually just saw that you commented. I got your notification. I rarely get notifications anymore. I have to actually go back and look at videos to check things out. Raven, a Stan Lee anime. That would be cool. All right. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Oh, my Explained in a Minute. That's my surprise. I'm putting it out. Bing. Right now. Or should I say, blink right now. Blink, Explained in a Minute. That's it. That does all of the major characters from the Gifted TV series, from episode 1 at least. Again, there is the guy with the flame powers who's a facsimile of Sunspot. I will one day do Sunspot. Robert DaCosta. He's way too awesome of a character to not. And I will probably do a spotlight on story for the Fallen Angels 8-issue miniseries on top of that, at the same time. But for right now, I got way too much stuff to do. Way too much other stuff to do. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Oh, don't forget to check me out over on Nerderkey on YouTube. I pirated for the 4th time an episode over there. And I just got to finish running a live game of Marvel Superheroes Advanced Role-Playing System from back in like 1986. Yes, we're bringing that game back alive, guys. Every Monday at 8 o'clock New York, Toronto time. Anyways, guys, that's it. What else do we have in here? True Blood. All right, guys, I'm going to call this a wrap. Got another comic book to read and review, and then I got to prep for Wednesday, all new comics coming in. All right, guys. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Thanks for joining the chat, guys. Class dismissed.